Japan's Emperor Akihito is stepping down on April 30th, leaving room for his son Naruhito to take the chrysanthemum throne and start a new imperial era for the country. It is the first time in 2 centuries that an emperor is abdicating, and also the first such transition that faces challenges tied to modern day. As part of the historic transition, the Japanese will also see a major change in their calendars. With the new emperor comes a new era in the Japanese calendar that keeps track of dates based on how many years an emperor has spent in office. Each era receives a name, and with the beginning of every new monarch's rule it resets to 1. The current era, the era of Heisei, will end and usher in the new era of Reiwa, which can mean order and peace, auspicious harmony and joyful. Japan uses the Gregorian calendar, but it also uses the imperial era names. It is the only country in the world still using Chinese-style imperial calendars. When you look at official documents like marriage certificates, death certificates, as well as government documents, press releases, anything that you see happening, they get released with the era name, says Jeffrey Hornan, political scientist at the RAND Corporation, a research organization that develops solutions to public policy challenges. Right now it's Heisei 31, on May 1st, next week, it's going to flip back to 1. Such a change can bring challenges for computers that may not be programmed to understand what 1 is. The worries recall similar anxieties to the year 2000 problem, also known as the Y2K problem, when at the change of the millennium individuals, companies and organizations worried that computers would not be able to distinguish the year 2000 from the year 1900. There were worries over the potential loss of data and emails, or servers struggling to establish connections. The Japanese have had adequate time to prepare, largely because the abdication was first announced in 2016. As a result, experts say the country's computer networks should experience no problems. When you have to change the system so that there is this flip over from Heisei to Reiwa, if you know it's coming, you can prepare for it and you can set up the computers and all other things in advance, says Shioko Goto, Deputy Director for Geoeconomics and Senior Associate for Northeast Asia at the Wilson Center in Washington, D.C. If this wouldn't have happened, the emperor abdicating, and we would have had to wait for the emperor to pass away, there would have been a lot of confusion. Still, secrecy shrouds switching to a new imperial era, with the name of the new age being kept from citizens until a public announcement is made. Upon the release of the news that the new era will be named Reiwa, companies, services and people were rushing to keep up with the change. Calendar companies had to now create brand new calendars with the new era name on it, and so they've been struggling to try to keep up with the demand because everybody needed a new calendar, Hornan said. The new Japanese era promises to bring not just initial headaches to IT workers, but also optimism for the future, such as every new royal era, experts say. Yet challenges still remain. There's always the question of the relevance of monarchy, and this is not unique to Japan, Goto says. In the case of Japan, I think also for a lot of European countries that still have monarchies, the answer is a resounding yes, that overall, they do more good and they provide a sense of stability, especially in this day and age when there are so many uncertainties.